It's so mission critical to plug in. Just think if you can't have power to a device if it's not plugged in. Well, we have really five primary components of plugging in. So first is school, SKOOL. And I went to that earlier. And so let's go back to that again real quick. When you first come to school, once you're in, you're going to be on the community. So in the top left, it says community. Once again, next is classroom, next is calendar. Those are the only three areas you'll ever come to on school. And so the community is going to be the wall where you can ask questions or what have you and see how people responded, much like Facebook. I would highly recommend you watch Expect to Win, what we pinned here. It is a complete game changer. Then we have the classroom. This is where I've created I've taken this is a team system and put it into 7 steps. And so I'll refer to the steps in a little bit. And so we already advise you to watch step 1, watch welcome, step 1, step 2, and then get back to your upline. Well, then we have step 3, step 4, step 5, 6, and 7. You're going to want to walk through these steps. They're going to establish your footsteps to be very successful and prosperous in this opportunity. And we have a calendar. The key with the calendar is you want to change the view of it. And there is this icon here next to the plus sign. You click it, it changes the view. Boom. Now you can see what we're doing right now today at 11:30. You can see at 1 p.m. what's happening. You can see tomorrow night and so on, and all the Zooms that are taking place. So you can have complete access to both this is a team Zoom schedule and our Believers for Life Zoom schedule. We always operate outside of this is a team Zooms. Believers for Life operates out. This is a team, so they'll never overlap, so that you have a full suite of Zooms available to you. And we'll talk about Zooms in a minute. But I just want to make sure that you understand the power of school and what it's meant to do in this context here. Next is team. We truly are better together, but it is literally the number one reason why people fail out of this opportunity without measure. It's a no-brainer. Is A, they're not plugged in, period. And so they're not on school. And what that does is going to bring you also into our team, our Believers for Life team community inside this is a team. And so remember, why is this so important? Because the very thing you're doing every day, all of us are doing the same thing. We're sharing one patch, getting better at sharing it, learning how to stay excited when maybe our excitement wanes, and learning how to do everything I'm sharing with you. We're all learning the same thing. So now you can look to your left and look to your right and get encouraged, get brought up, and you can be an encourager too. So that's the power of a team, obviously. And so in our team, a few things. We have a team, our community, as far as Believers for Life community, we have an 8 p.m. every Sunday night, Eastern Standard Time, team Zoom. This is where we get to celebrate the wins for the week, celebrate who's hitting new ranks, and get insights to win the next week. Remember, we get paid from Monday, 12:01 a.m. to Sunday, 11:59 or midnight, the next night. That's 7-day window. So we want to, before the new week starts, we want to be able to capture celebrating and empowering and being excited to go get after the next week. So that's part of the power of the team and that team Zoom. And also the women have and this is so important, on a Wednesday, we have a women's Zoom. And right now we had 42 women last week at noon. Every noon we have a women's Zoom. We started this just a couple months ago and it's growing. And it gives a safe place for women to come to be able to share their emotions and their thoughts and their feelings and their experiences, and also hear a presentation. So these women can invite new women to take a look at the opportunity and be in the comfort of other women also, and be empowered. And then also the team, we have our Zoom like we do today for the basic training every week. So you want to plug new people in. And then obviously this was the national, but our team, the national one at 1 o'clock, I'm just talking about the Believers for Life team right now. The one that you stay connected with at a more granular level is the 8 p.m., the women's Zoom. And then we have our training on Saturdays. So, and that leads then to the next word you hear me saying is Zooms. To me, this is just spectacular on so many levels that this is so simple. In order to stay empowered in this business is you just got to look at your computer or look at your phone on a Zoom. Like no burpees, no driving somewhere. It's right in the convenience of your hand. You have the ability to be super empowered because typically any Zoom I've ever seen, I've always come away greater than when I went in looking at it. And sometimes I don't feel like it. And I'm so glad I don't give in and I take a look at it. Now, the Zooms, let's quantify or qualify what Zooms we're talking about. Okay, so we have our team Zoom I talked about, the women's Zoom to get connected with, our trainings, right? Those three things there. But then fourthly, you have the X39 launch Zooms that go on pretty much 5 days a week, if not more, if your upline's working with you. That you have availability between Believers for Life and Visit Team. You have the ability to point eyeballs to Zooms because this business in part is built on getting eyeballs on Zooms, much in part. Matter of fact, Zooms are probably the most powerful way to give people a way to be able to see what this opportunity is. And without seeing the Zoom, now it's all on you. And do you really want that weight on you? Do you really have to take the time and be that salesperson? Now, eventually you want to go through the Zooms, but you're really reading slides and sharing your story through it and showing people what, the opportunity of what it looks like. And that's what the Zooms do. The Zooms put somebody in a position to believe if they're a 3, 2, or 1. 3, they want to do more research. 2, they want to get some patches. Or 1, they want to hit the go button on the rewarding program. And that gives everybody an opportunity, a safe bet to see that without you having to do that unless you now become the presenter on the Zooms, which eventually you're going to want to do. But in the meantime, you leverage the horsepower of that. And that's why it's so important to become a great inviter to Zooms. And that leads to the daily method of operation. That's what DMO stands for, daily method of operation with the PRO system. And you can see this on the school platform. If you haven't heard about it, you'll hear it over and over again. You'll always hear about PRO, Patch Revisit Opportunity. Patch means how many people you're going to be sharing with this daily, whether you share a patch or not, but you share with them. Point them to visitinfo.com. You can learn more about that, which is very important. And let me stomp on that real quick. This is info.com. That's huge. You'll find that on school. You'll find that in the system. And that's kind of when someone wants to find out, well, hey, tell me more about this. Well, I've got a link that will tell you more about it because I'm still figuring it out. And you send them visitinfo.com. That's where the research, the studies, the patents, videos, doctors, testimonies, boom, it's all on there. Now you can stay brief talking with somebody. He who says the least to the most amount of people wins, because now when they want to know more, you don't have to talk more. You just send them information. So now they can know more. So that's about that. So in your PRO system, when you're patching, you're sharing the opportunity, you're going to send this at info, then you're going to follow up with them, revisit. And then all the people you're patching and revisiting, you will have invited to see a Zoom. And that's the opportunity, the O. Right? So I want to go through a little system of this in a minute with you. And so lastly, when you're being plugged in, means you're following the steps. I showed you on school, there's 7 steps. You want to follow the 7 steps. Initially coming aboard, you want to simply do the welcome videos and then the videos on steps 1 and 2, get back with your upline. But after that, you're going to come back. And as you go forward, you're going to walk through the steps, which are all formulated from This Is a Team, just in an organized format, so you can follow the order and continue to establish your success in this journey.